In the year 1893, Wilhelm Wien, in order to find the actual distribution of energy in thermal spectrum, tackled the issue thermodynamically and obtained displacement law. But that was found to be valid only for shorter wavelengths and not suited for longer wavelengths as told earlier. So, in order to remove the Wien's formula discrepancy, two more scientists, Rayleigh and Jeans, developed a theory for the spectral distribution of a black body radiation by the application of electrodynamics and statistical mechanics. For that, they have considered a hollow cubic enclosure. For example, consider a hollow cubic enclosure. Let us say its side is denoted by L. So, considering a hollow cubic enclosure of side L with perfectly reflecting walls, let us place a black particle inside the enclosure. Then automatically the radiations emitted by the particle will be reflected. The radiations emitted by the black particle inside the enclosure will automatically reflected by the walls. According to electromagnetic theory, the radiation is supposed to consist of number of waves. The waves in the enclosure travel in all possible directions. They undergo multiple reflections from the various walls of the enclosure. So, in course of time, the enclosure will be filled with the stationary waves of all wavelengths. The reason is that reflected wave interferes with the corresponding incident wave to form stationary wave similar to sound waves. For example, when a wire of length say L is fixed at both ends and plucked at its midpoint, the stationary waves are formed with the nodes at the fixed points. Suppose if the wire vibrates say for N loops due to formation of stationary waves, then we know n into lambda by 2 equal to L. Or by cross multiplying, we can get lambda value as 2L by n, where n value will be, let us say, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. infinity. Let it be equation 1. Now, similar is the case with an enclosure filled with radiations, what we are considering. So, the enclosure we considered earlier can be imagined as a similar case. So, therefore, similar is the case with an enclosure filled with radiations. If L is the distance between the walls, then the corresponding allowed frequencies, what we call as overtones, they can be found as nu equal to, because we are talking about frequency, nu equal to C by lambda. Now, lambda is already calculated here as 2L by n. Substitute lambda value equal to 2L by n here in the denominator of nu equal to C by lambda, then we will be getting nu equal to Cn by 2L, where n equal to 1, 2, 3, etc. up to infinity. Let it be equation 2. So, therefore, the example of wire fixing at both ends when plucked at its midpoint forming the stationary waves, that particular case is similar to the enclosure example we have taken, where a hollow cubic enclosure with perfectly reflecting walls being inside kept a black particle emitting radiation is being considered. So, both can be taken as similar examples. Here in this example of C by lambda, C is the velocity of light. So, therefore, here the number of overtones may be referred to as several degrees of freedom with which the system is capable of vibrating. And moreover, every allowed frequency is what is called as mode of vibration. So, if the three edges of the cube from the three axes in space, the number of loops in each direction, let us say nx, ny and nz, they can be calculated as nx equal to 2l by 1, that is from equation 1. Now therefore L can be cross multiplying this nx into lambda by 2. Similarly ny equal to lambda, ny into lambda by 2 as well as nz into lambda by 2. And because the radiation or diffuse, the waves can be inclined at any angle to the rectangular axis. Something like this. So for waves making an angle alpha, beta, gamma with the three axes can be schematically represented like this. Based on this, we have L cos alpha equal to nx into lambda by 2. Similarly, L cos beta equal to ny into lambda by 2 and L cos gamma equal to n2 into nz into lambda by 2. So let it be equation 4. Here we have to observe the concept of directions of cosine law. Like L cos alpha equal to Lx and L cos beta equal to Ly and L cos gamma equal to Lz. In that case, L square equal to Lx square plus Ly square plus Lz square. So directions of cosine obeys here. So in our concept, direction cosines will obey. So that relation gives you cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma equal to 1. If this is taken as equation 4, we can take this as equation 5. Therefore, from equations 3 and 4, from the equations 3 and 4, we can write nx square plus ny square plus nz square equal to 2l by lambda whole square. So, if you can put the left hand side, that is nx square, let it be equation 6, nx square plus ny square plus nz square, whatever we got as, let us say, r square, then automatically equation 6 can be giving us a value r square. That means instead of LHS we are writing RH square, r square. So therefore equation 6 can be written in the form of r square equal to 2l by lambda whole square. Now if you simplify, we can get r value as 2l by lambda, right? Now this equation 6, if you carefully observe, represents an ellipsoid. This equation, carefully when you observe, represents an ellipsoid with nx, ny and nz directions as coordinate axis. So each set of values of nx, ny and nz satisfying this condition corresponds to one mode of vibration. So in that case, the total number of modes of vibration or total number of possible sets of nx, ny, nz. So therefore, the total number of modes must be equal to total number of possible sets of nx, ny, nz. So using this equation, the number of modes of vibration in the wavelength interval, let us say between lambda and lambda plus d lambda, can be found. So to make the picture very clear and understand in detail, let us consider the number of modes of vibration in a two-dimensional plane. For a two-dimensional plane, this equation can be written as, just means we are considering only x and y axis. So for a two-dimensional plane, this equation can be written as nx square plus ny square equal to 2l by lambda whole square. Got it? Now this equation represents, if you carefully observe, this equation represents a circle. Is it not? So this equation represents a circle. So when we plot nx on x-axis and ny on y-axis, we will get a graph like this. Okay. Now every point of intersection gives a mode of vibration. Because the positive values of nx and ny are only allowed, we have to consider intersections in positive quadrant only. So the area of each square is a unity. So therefore, the number of squares in it, which is equal to the area of the quadrant 1 by 4 pi multiplied by square of the radius. So therefore, this is equal to 1 by 4 pi into r is equal to 2l by lambda. Na? Therefore, radius square means 1 by 4 pi into 2l by lambda whole square. So if you expand this 4, 2 square get cancelled with 4. So therefore, you will be left with pi l square by lambda square. So the number of modes of vibration with wavelength lying between lambda and lambda plus d lambda can be obtained by differentiating this equation. Now, if we extend this idea to a three-dimensional space, the circle will become a sphere and each unit square will be a unit cube. Therefore, the total number of modes of vibrations up to wavelength lambda, let us say if it is taken as f, that will be those in the octant of the spherical shell of the radii 2l by lambda. That means if we extend this idea to three-dimensional space, the circle will be sphere and each unit square will become a unit cube. In that situation, now the total number of modes of vibrations f up to the wavelength lambda will be those in the octant of the spherical shell of the radii 2l by lambda. Therefore, f value can be calculated as 1 by 8 into, because we are talking about octant. So therefore, f will be 1 by 8 into 4/3 pi r cube. That is 1 by 8 into 4/3 pi into what is r? 2l by lambda. Therefore, this will become 1 by 8 into 4/3 pi into 2l by lambda whole cube. So expand this. 2 cube gets cancelled with 8. Okay, 4/3 will be like that. Pi is anyway outside. Now only thing is L cube. Therefore, you will have f is equal to 4 pi L cube by 3 lambda cube. Let it be equation 7. So the number of modes of vibrations, what we call degrees of freedom between lambda and lambda plus d lambda can be obtained by differentiating this equation. So by differentiating this equation, we will be able to get the number of modes of vibration, that is the degrees of freedom between lambda and lambda plus d lambda as, so differentiating this, we will have df is equal to, take the constant out, 4 pi constant, L cube constant, 3 is constant, only lambda cube is there. Therefore, you can write as df is equal to 4 pi L cube by 3 into d by d lambda of 1 by lambda cube. So when you simplify this equation, you will get df is equal to 4 pi L cube by 3 into d by d lambda of 1 by lambda cube is nothing but minus 3 by lambda for d lambda only. Na? So let it be equation 8. So here in the equation 8, by neglecting the negative sign, d lambda is, because d lambda is positive, so we will neglect the negative sign here. Therefore, we can write equation 7 as df is equal to, so you can simply write it as 4 pi by lambda by 4 into this can be written as v. So therefore, taking that as volume of the enclosure, you can write df as 4 pi v by lambda 4 power 4 into d lambda. Let this be equation 9. So this number should be multiplied by 2 because transverse electromagnetic waves have two polarizations for each mode. Therefore, the total number of modes of vibration can be written as, here if you see, by taking 4 pi by lambda for 4, 3 gets cancelled. Eliminate the negative sign, 3 gets cancelled, bring lambda by 4 outside, this will become 4 pi by lambda power 4 into L cube d lambda. Na? So L cube is nothing but volume. So therefore, by taking that as volume of the enclosure, we can write that as dF equal to 4 pi v by lambda power 4 into d lambda. That's how this equation has come. Now here, this should be multiplied. The number should be multiplied because we are talking about degrees of freedom. So the number should be multiplied by 2 because transverse electromagnetic waves have got two polarization for each mode. Therefore, the total number of modes of vibration you can obtain by multiplying the right hand side of the equation 9 multiplied by 2. Then automatically you will have 4 pi will become 8 pi. So it will become, by multiplying by 2, it will become 8 pi v by lambda power 4 into d lambda. Let this be equation. Okay. Now, this is for volume V. Suppose if you are considering a unit volume, this will become unity. Therefore, the number of modes of vibrations per unit volume will become, we will go here. It will be 8 pi d lambda by lambda power 4. dF is equal to 8 pi d lambda by lambda power 4. Let it be equation 6. Rayleigh and Jeans assumed that the law of equipartition of energy holds good in the case of radiation also. We shall discuss that law of equipartition of energy when we discuss kinetic theory. According to that law, that is law of equipartition of energy, the average energy per mode of vibration is taken as kT. So, according to the law of equipartition of energy, the average energy per mode of vibration is taken as the product of K into T, where K is the Boltzmann constant and T is the absolute temperature. Here, after getting the number of modes of vibrations per unit volume as 8 pi d lambda by lambda power 4, what we have taken as equation 11, Rayleigh and Jeans assumed that the law of equipartition of energy holds good even in the case of radiation also. According to this law, the average energy per mode of vibration is kT, K into T, where K is the Boltzmann constant and T is the absolute temperature. So, therefore, energy density within the wavelengths will become what? So, the energy density within the wavelength lambda and lambda plus d lambda will become E lambda d lambda is equal to the total number of modes multiplied by the average energy per mode. Average energy density per mode multiplied by total number of modes. What is the total number of mode you got? So this is the total number of modes you got. Now the number of modes of vibrations per unit volume you got as 8 pi d lambda by lambda by 4. That is total number of modes multiplied by average energy per mode. Average energy per mode as per law of equipartition of energy is kT. Therefore, this will become E lambda d lambda is equal to energy density 8 pi d lambda by lambda power 4 into kT. Now, if you can rewrite this as like this, E lambda d lambda is equal to 8 pi kT you bring here, keep the d lambda out. So therefore, you will have 8 pi kT by lambda power 4 into d lambda. Therefore, E lambda d lambda is equal to 8 pi kT by lambda power 4 into d lambda. This is Rayleigh-Jeans formula. So this is how you can obtain Rayleigh-Jeans formula for energy distribution. But remember, Rayleigh and Jeans, in order to remove Wien's formula discrepancy only, developed this theory for the spectral distribution of a black body radiation by applying the concept of electrodynamics and statistical mechanics. According to Rayleigh-Jeans formula, the value of E lambda at a given temperature increases rapidly as lambda decreases and approaches infinity for very shorter wavelength. But of course, you have to remember that this is not true. As told earlier, Paschen showed that Rayleigh and Jeans formula is correct only for longer wavelengths. If Wien's formula is suited for shorter wavelengths, this law is showed by Paschen as suited for longer wavelengths. So this is what we need to remember. This is how you can arrive at Rayleigh-Jeans formula.